WBA Fede Centro title.
Yeah, Shaki Foster, a guy with a deceptive size for the weight class and for his frame, 5'8.5" shorter than Jesus Bravo, but Foster has very, very long arms, so Bravo may look like the taller fighter, but Foster should be able to find him with his jab. This is a great looking matchup on paper between a pure puncher and a pure boxer.
Esta pelea será 10 asaltos para el campeonato Fede Centro de peso superpluma de la AMB. Extraído a todos por el entretenimiento de Bella. Está patrocinado por Nissan of Queens, Gallardi Insurance, Optics, and Azad Watches. This fight will be 10 rounds for the WBA Fede Centro Super Featherweight Championship of the World. Brought to you by DeBella Entertainment and sponsored by Nissan of Queens, Gallardi Insurance, Optics, and Azad Watches. En la esquina azul, lleva pantalones cortos negros, pesa 127 libras. In the blue corner, wearing black trunks, he weighed in at 127 pounds. Con 19 victorias, 17 knockouts, una derrota y un empate. With 19 victories, 17 by knockout, opposite of 1 defeat and 1 draw. Lima, Peru, está presentando Jesus, el Rayo Bravo. En la esquina roja, lleva pantalones cortos, verdes y negros, pesa 130 libras. In the red corner, wearing green and black trunks, he weighed in at 130 pounds. Con 15 victorias, 9 knockouts, 2 derrotas, with 15 victories, 9 knockouts, and only 2 defeats. Houston, Texas, Oshaki Icewater Foster.
Well, here we go, 10 rounds in Super Featherweight for the WBA Fede Centro Super Featherweight Championship. Oshaki Foster and Jesus Bravo. Foster coming in 15-2, 9 knockouts. And his first match fighting under DeBella Entertainment, Jesus Bravo, 19-1-1, 17 knockouts. He is in the black trunks. Foster in the black trunks with the neon green trim down the sides.
And Foster's a guy who's had a real turnaround in both his life and in his career. About 3 years ago, he took a loss on Showbox. We saw him lose to Sam Tia, just kind of froze that night, then took a loss to Rolando Chinea, then had a stint in jail. And when he was in jail, he watched Terrence Crawford win the undisputed 140-pound title against Julius Indago, and he had an awakening. It inspired him, and the moment he got out of jail, the first place he went was to the gym in Houston, and it's been quite the turnaround ever since.
Yeah, he moved away from his hometown of Orange, Texas, and he's known his trainer, Bobby Benton, since he was a kid. And he's been there working out at Main Street Boxing and Muay Thai Gym in Houston. And he's won 5 in a row since then.
Bobby Benton, obviously, also the trainer of Regis Prograis. So if anyone specializes in this kind of fighter, the guy who's off the radar but is incredibly talented and is going to break through is Bobby Benton. He seems to have a whole stable of these fighters.
Prograis, the top-ranked super lightweight and WBA champ. Foster, a world-ranked 130-pound contender. And Jesus Bravo presenting maybe a bit of an unfamiliar challenge. fighting his first American opponent. And it's Bravo's first fight here in Costa Rica.
Well, right away, we're seeing something that I alluded to during the tail of the tape. Foster is deceptively long for his size. You don't think that his reach is going to be what it is. Well, Bravo might be hurt already.
That was a real foolish move. You never put your back to your opponent like that, ever. I don't think he's hurt. I just think he made a foolish mistake, and he could have got caught with that.
I really don't know what happened. It's not like he got turned around. I'm not sure why he would have decided to do that.
Just a little lackadaisical.
Yeah.
Oh, better wake up. You got a strong opponent in front of you.
Bravo coming off a knockout win on April 27th against the previously undefeated Cesar Diaz as we wind things down in the opening round. And at the bell, Bravo stopping. And they go into the corner. Foster in the red, Bravo in the blue corner.
Here we see the unusual moment. Yeah, I mean, that was just Foster kind of missing on a check hook, and Bravo followed through and just waited.
He was staring into the camera.
Yeah, I think he was waiting for the red light to go on.
Moment of lights right there for a few seconds.
Meeting the ropes and then meeting the camera. A lot happening with Jesus Bravo. And Oshaki Foster, under the tutelage of Bobby Benton and his cutman Aaron Navarro. He said he is ready. He wants all the smoke, and I think that's also another phrase for belts.
He wants the title shot. Yes, that's right.
He may get one. He's currently the WBC silver champ, and he recently said that he believes Miguel Berchel will soon vacate the title, and he's hoping to be in position to compete for that belt. And he kind of has this all mapped out here because he mentions Joseph Diaz. Jojo Diaz is a top contender, ranked right behind Tevin Farmer. He's 29-1. As a guy that he could contend with should that belt become vacant.
Well, and of course, Foster and Diaz have some history. Jojo Diaz is the reason Oshaki Foster didn't make the Olympics. He was the guy who beat him in the Olympic trials in 2012. So there's more to that fight than just heading towards a world title. There's some revenge out there for Oshaki Foster.
That redemption in the pros is nothing better than getting that sweet redemption fight.
And it's 7 years in the making. You do not forget. Right after that, Foster went pro.
But 130 is an interesting weight class right now, and there's definitely space for Foster to fit in to that title picture. All the big names are guys with good television exposure. You mentioned Berchelt. We'll see what he does with his belt. Gervonta Davis, obviously the biggest star in the division. Then you have Tevin Farmer, Jamel Herring, who just won a world title, Andrew Cancio. So there's guys with followings and names, but not necessarily completely unbeatable names. I think that people would consider Gervonta to probably be the class of the division, or Tevin Farmer. But there are fights out there for Foster to get, and there are fights that he would be competitive in.
Foster's arms kind of look like tied up shoelaces there with Bravo as they get untangled.
I think Bravo's having a little bit of a difficult time, figuring out Foster's timing and getting acclimated to him in the ring. Foster's doing a really good job of just hit and move, hit and move, hit and move. He's fast on his feet. His punches are quick.
And that's the difficulty with fighting Oshaki Foster is, it's easy for me to say, oh, Jesus Bravo should jab his way in. He needs to jab first. But Foster just doesn't give you the space or the reason to throw that jab out there. He's in and then he's all the way out.
Yeah.
And his movement is so good that he just doesn't give you that chance.
It really is. The second you try to come in and be offensive, he's got you before you even thought it.
Final 10 seconds of round 2, scheduled for 10 here at super featherweight. Continued good movement as we wind things down.
A little bit of action after the bell.
We see some of the action for the previous round. And it's been the jab of O'Shaquie Foster, the jab and the movement almost exclusively that has won him these 2 rounds. You see him throw that right hand out there. But it's been almost entirely with his left hand that he's been able to control this fight so far.
And here we go with round number 3 from San Jose alongside Corey Urban and the Empress Alicia Napoleon Espinosa. I'm Justin Shackle. As O'Shaquie Foster is fighting his first bout under DeBella Entertainment. He signed back in April. Scored some upsets on the B side as he's made some appearances on Showtime, like you mentioned. But that unanimous decision over John Fernandez really set him up. And that surprise coming last September.
Yeah, and if this is your first time watching O'Shaquie Foster, you might think, oh, you know, he's just kind of a jab artist who's going to pack his way to a decision. That John Fernandez fight showed you what he can be. He beat John Fernandez up. He beat him at his own game. He was the better power puncher in that fight as well. So there are a lot of elements to O'Shaquie Foster's game. He can beat you in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, he definitely did that night because he's not typically the fighter to be known to outpunch someone, but he did that exact damage that night.
Fernandez was 16-0 entering that fight against Foster. Bravo holding the back of Foster's head.
I mean, every time these two come together, something illegal happens. They've been warned nearly every time they come together. This one has the possibility of getting messy.
And a good right from Foster.
Well, Bravo right now is kind of abandoning his jab and just kind of selling out, trying to get as close to Foster as he can.
Yeah, he's almost forcing his way in now. Just forcing way in. He almost has no choice but to force the pace because Foster's too quick for him. So he's got to get uncomfortable. And if he can get dirty, I think he's going to get dirty.
Close range left hook for Foster. And a good combo left.
I mean, it might not be the worst decision either, because if you let O'Shaquie Foster get 6 rounds in the bank, and he knows he can get to the finish line, if you think it's hard to catch up with him now, good luck then. So yeah. Bravo has to make this investment now and has to take chances early.
Bravo with no real guard. Round 3 closing up. A sweeping left from Bravo. And a wild overhand right. And a stare down.
That was beautiful defense from Foster at the bell. We'll see some more of Foster's work here. This is Bravo, as Alicia pointed out, just trying to make it dirty on the inside, doing what he can. It's not easy to touch O'Shaquie Foster, so when you get those chances, you better put some leather on him. And there's Foster. Look at that move, just Ole.
Yeah, he works beautiful angles and really just in control of his opponent's movement.
They did use this building as bullfighting.
Oh, yes, it's fitting. Yes,
facility
exactly. Yeah.
at one point. So
Foster
has the idea right there. The Gimnasio Nacional was built in 1960, and again, originally there was no roof when it was used for bullfighting. Now it's used by the Costa Rican national basketball team.
Good thing there's a roof. We might have felt the breeze from that right hand from Jesus Bravo at the belt.
Bravo's really trying to hold him while he's on the inside and sneak those punches in.
Another element that Foster's going to have to deal with.
Bravo just pointing to the mat, imploring Foster to stand toe-to-toe with them.
Yeah, that's Bravo's fight. That's what he wants. So if he wants it, he's going to have to force it, because Foster's not going to give it to him.
Right hand snuck in by Foster.
You can feel Foster's confidence growing as well. Here he's turning southpaw, but you see him kind of stopping and throwing with power a little more often than he was in the opening few rounds. A moment ago, Bravo turned southpaw, and you could hear his corner tell him, no, don't do that. And he switched back right away without consequence.
At least he listens.
Good jab from the southpaw stance from Foster as well. You know, Foster obviously has tremendous footwork, but he seems to have this ability to make his opponent unsure of his offense. Because Bravo will be in range sometimes, and he just doesn't want to let his hands go.
Yeah, because Foster's so quick, and those punches sting. As much as he tries to defend him, he can't. He's too slow. Foster's way too fast. Bravo's going to have to just constantly try to cut off this ring, double, triple up that jab, push it forward, try to get on the inside and slip and punch, move and punch. You know, that was working for him in the earlier rounds here and there.
The action closing up here in round number 4. As Foster, he's controlling the mat, that is for sure.
You see Foster operating as a southpaw for the 4th round. We'll see if that continues. He's a pretty loose, relaxed guy in there. You never know. It might have been just a trial run for 1 round.
Well, we are going international here tonight in San Jose, Costa Rica. We'll be back in the Northeast, our home base. Broadway Boxing coming up as the summer rounds out, and in the month of August in Monroeville, Pennsylvania on August the 1st, back at Foxwoods Resort and Casino on August the 29th. Be a certain title holder, I believe, in action that night. Are we accurate with that, Alicia?
Should be, in action that night.
Okay.
Contract's not signed yet, but looks hopeful. Maybe I could join you guys after the fight.
Yeah, we'll absolutely. We'll allow that.
Well, round 5 opening up with Foster going to work and Bravo covering up.
We were looking for Bravo to be the one to pick up the aggression, but it's Foster who's now putting it on Bravo.
Yeah, he's comfortable. He has Bravo's number. He can do that. That's why he was southpaw that whole time, and still at it, still in that position. And he looks pretty good as a southpaw as well. He's handling it.
Switching up in midway through round 4, now coming out that way in round 5.
I mean, Bravo hasn't had much success at all in the center of the ring, and it's hard to imagine a scenario in which he would. In some strange way, it's not even the worst thing for him to kind of back off and be on the ropes, because at least he can throw his right hand.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because other than that, Foster's just the whole time luring him in, drawing him in, and countering off of everything he's trying to throw.
At the same time, it's hard as a trainer to tell your fighter, hey, go lay on the ropes for a little while.
Yeah, you never want. You always want to tell him to get off the ropes. Good head movement there by Bravo. If he could just punch off of that movement next time.
Bravo winding up, Foster keeping the distance. And Bravo walking in shades of round 1.
Well, he took a running start at that one, but he landed a body shot.
Another Olay moment. Bravo showing some good lateral movement.
That was a trip, I think, from Foster.
And Bravo coming in as we wind things down here in the 5th round. And a lot of extracurriculars going on this entire fight.
Bobby Benton's got to watch it here.
Yeah, that was really dirty on Bravo's end. That was unnecessary and bad sportsmanship.
Kind of spills over here between rounds 5 and 6.
Take a look at the replays here. Foster once again just in control. And once again, things get messy when these fighters come together. And watch it here. It's that back elbow from Bravo. No doubt he was the one in the wrong. I was just concerned that Bobby Benton was going to touch an official, and maybe he didn't know what happened, and the wrong thing could have happened there. The wrong person could have been penalized for that.
That would be a shame to see the fight go to disqualification come this far.
Yeah.
Let's hope to see Bravo behave.
Well, here we go with round number 6. Bravo wants to touch gloves. Foster kind of makes contact, but flings it away. Here in round 6, scheduled for 10. With the vacant WBA Fedicentro Super Featherweight belt on the line.
Well, you can understand why Bravo would be frustrated. Obviously, you can't react the way that he did at the end of that round, but he's been doing a lot of swinging and missing, and that's extremely frustrating for a fighter, especially a high-level fighter like Jesus Bravo.
A guy who doesn't miss that often. 21 career matches have ended for Bravo, 17 of which have come via knockout. 19-1-1 record. And an 81% knockout percentage.
what you have to like about Oshaki Foster is he shows that you can be successful in boxing by just keeping it simple. You know, when you're teaching young fighters how to learn this sport, how to fight in there, someone like Oshaki Foster could show you that just with a good jab and with good footwork, those two things alone can take you a long way. Like, you can put a lot of rounds in the bank by perfecting those two things. And there aren't too many people, if anyone, in the 130-pound division that has those attributes that stack up with Oshaki Foster.
That's the truth. Simplicity is key. And, you know, as a fighter, it's always the fundamentals. It's always going back to the basics that you constantly have to condition every single day as a fighter. You just have to.
Good tack to the body from Foster.
Okay. Reach. Come on.
And that's the other thing about Foster. When he does get to the inside, or when he wants to, he has a lot of tools in his arsenal. You know, Oshaki can throw a lot of different stuff, but he doesn't need to. He's going to fight on his terms. When he wants to back you up, he will. When he wants to move around, he's definitely going to do that.
That's real special talent, though, too. You know, sometimes that just can't be learned, and you could try to practice and apply it, but some people are just born with that genetic ability to be that quick and fast and apply those basics just crisp and to perfection.
Action picking up as round 6 comes to a close. And
they heard the bell this time.
That time they go to the
they
corners.
Obeyed the bell.
No problem.
Good. They don't want to get disqualified. Good.
See some of these just quick, short shots on the inside, sneaking in there from Oshaki Foster. Bravo just desperately trying to sling anything in there, but almost all of it going around the body of Oshaki Foster or getting rolled with.
Well, Jesus Bravo's coming back down to super featherweight after bumping up to super lightweight in his last fight against Cesar Diaz. A lone loss of his career came nearly a year ago on July the 28th in a controversial majority decision against Rafael Hernandez. Good defense from Foster as Bravo comes out swinging here in round 7.
I was going to say, good little sequence there for Oshaki Foster, but you know, a little bit of a confidence booster for Bravo in that he was at least allowed to get those shots off. I don't think he landed a whole lot there, but he was at least able to let a combination go.
It's almost like his best bet right now is to try to pressure him and throw as many combinations as he can on the inside to Foster. You know, just keep cutting off that ring and trying to slip, move, and punch.
An overhand right that didn't land all that cleanly a moment ago from Bravo.
You know, it's all easier said than done. I'm sure Bravo is used to standing in front of opponents that are not at Foster's caliber, which is why he's frustrated, and he's showing that frustration through some dirty movements that he's doing. But he's trying, and he's a good athlete. He's got a lot of heart.
Well, and even in sparring, like, surely he brought smaller fighters in to work on speed and move around and whatnot, but how often has he been in the ring with someone that he just can't touch? Well, now he's doing his best work of the fight on the inside.
Yeah, he's actually just caught Foster with a few uppercuts, and, you know, that's his game, and that's what he's going to have to try to do.
Several close-range combos from Bravo. And now he goes right back.
You almost feel like Foster's kind of allowing this to happen. You know, he's putting his gloves up. He's kind of walking towards Bravo.
Good right cross by Foster.
Because there were times in the John Fernandez fight where Foster decided to kind of plant his feet and bang it out with Fernandez just to show him that he could, to get that respect from him. Now we're seeing another look from Foster.
And he's also doing the right thing. You know, he gets on the inside with Bravo, and Bravo will try to get off a little bit, but then he's hugging him, he's holding him. You know, that's going to prevent the fighter from being able to get on the inside.
Well, it's those nuances, too. You see on the Foster's head on the inside is never right in front of Bravo. It's always off to the side. He's not giving him a lane to just belt him with uppercuts.
7 rounds in the books between Oshaki Foster and Jesus Bravo. And in a round that saw some additional punches land from both fighters. Bravo, especially at close range.
A couple of good body shots in there from Bravo. Definitely the best round of the fight for Bravo. I wouldn't have scored it for him, but you know, if you only watch the moments where he got to the inside and landed a couple body shots, tapped in a few uppercuts, I suppose you could score it for him, but I don't think that would be correct.
Yeah, I agree with you. He seemed to be falling in on a lot of those body shots as well. If he could just sit down on his punch, take a step back, and try to flurry it up the middle, he'd be a little bit more successful.
Like you mentioned, felt like at times Foster was kind of allowing that action to happen.
Absolutely.
Here we go with round 8.
When you saw it right there, right? As Foster came to the center of the ring, he had his hands up right away, and he was just going to walk to Jesus Bravo. He didn't touch gloves. He went right to the inside. That was nothing that Bravo did. That was Foster wanting to be in there.
I think part of that is, too, he can see that he has his opponent mentally frustrated, and he can take advantage, and he can do that.
And caught the chin there with the left. Did Foster. And another with the right.
And of course, it's a boxing match in there. There's that mental battle, that one-upsmanship, that machismo battle in there, and especially after that foul, after the bell, in the middle of the fight, maybe Foster wanted to kind of turn the tables and try and beat Bravo up a little bit, back him down.
Makes sense. I agree with that.
Foster clubbing Bravo with several right hands here in round 8.
Foster looking for a big right hand there. I think he's trying to hurt Bravo at this point. I think he's looking for a big shot.
Pretty hard trying to not fall in love with that right hand when you connect it just moments earlier.
Well, and you can even hear vocally, he's putting a little more oomph on those right hands when he's throwing them now.
Great defense by Foster.
I mean, Foster, as much as he is doing what he wants in terms of fighting on the inside when he wants to go there, he's definitely a little bit annoyed with some of the tactics of Bravo on the inside. He's not happy with what's happening in there. He doesn't like being fouled, nor does anyone, and you see it again.
Yeah, there's a lot of rabbit punching going on in this fight.
There's a lot of agitation toward elements that he's being forced to deal with right now.
Sure. And, you know, if he wants to avoid that, I'm sure Foster could box his way for an... Oh,
there it is! Stiff right, and Bravo goes down for the first time in his career.
Oh, it's over.
And that will do it.
Yeah, that is it. It's over. What a beautiful, clean shot. Straight right hand down the middle, right on the chin.
Oshaki Foster delivering the knockout blow that drops Jesus Bravo here in round 8.
Well, you can put that on the early list for Knockout of the Year contender, and on a night that we're dedicating to Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker, what a perfect counter shot for a knockout. That is as beautiful a counter shot knockout as you're going to see.
You know,
Wow.
throughout all this fight with the extracurricular activities going through, the little nudges, the holds, all that stuff, you talk about an appropriate nickname for Oshaki Foster, Ice Water. Unfazed, waited for his opponent to reveal himself, and right there, a rifling right hand that drops Bravo straight to the mat.
Bravo was supposed to be the puncher coming into this fight, but we found out who the puncher was right there.
Oh,
And
that
now
was a beautiful knockout. Beautiful knockout.
Obviously, we turn our attention to the health of Jesus Bravo at this point, who's still on the canvas, but does appear to be moving.
Oshaki Foster will improve to 16-2. That's the 10th knockout of his career.
What a finish for Foster, and you can almost see that building. We were talking about Foster getting the sense that he could hurt his opponent. He wanted to hurt his opponent. As you mentioned, Justin, starting to get agitated a little bit and found that opening to end it immediately.
And Bravo now sitting on the stool. And we take another look. Like a house of cards.
Precision at its best. I don't even think he was looking for the knockout. It just came naturally.
Yeah, when you land that accurately, that's going to happen. You walk Bravo right into the perfect right hand.
Well, unfortunately, Bravo's first knockout of his career. First one down on the canvas.
And it's going to be one that's going to be replayed a lot in the highlight reel for Oshaki Foster.
And if you're looking to make a statement, I mean, if people weren't talking about Oshaki Foster as a possible title contender at 130, a possible opponent for some of these big names that we referenced before, he just forced that issue because this is going to wind up on the highlight reels. It's going to be on your timeline on Twitter. It's going to be on your Instagram. Oshaki Foster has forced his way into that conversation.
Had a great sign with Jesus Bravo getting to his feet, acknowledging the crowd as well. And those two embrace. It just has to be a gratifying feeling with Oshaki Foster coming down to a foreign land, dealing with these elements.
Damas y
We go back
caballeros,
to Miguel
al
Flores.
final llega a 2 minutos y 59 segundos en el salto 8 para su ganador y el campeón Fedecentro de Peso Superpluma de la AMB. Ladies and gentlemen, the on comes at 2 minutes and 59 seconds of round number 8 for your winner by knockout. And now the WBA Fedecentro Super Featherweight Champion of the World, Oshaki Icewater Foster.